Hi everyone, happy Webtoon Wednesday. I'm going to be talking about The Secret Bedroom of a Dejected Royal Daughter. This is a Josie mature drama, historical, and romance. There is sex scenes in this webtoon, so obviously it's not going to be appropriate for the younger audience, so be aware of that before going into it. There is also an attempt of rape. Our main female character's name is Llewellyn. She is a beautiful princess, but she is an abandoned princess. And what that means is that her father, who was the king, has died, and her mother, who was, I'm not sure if she was technically the queen or if she was a mistress to the king, but she was actually beheaded because she was accused of trying to curse somebody in the royal family, whether it was like the king. Oh no, it was the king's son, which is Llewellyn's either stepbrother or adopted brother. It's kind of hard to tell. It's not really clear, at least maybe it just went over my head, because I kind of had the assumption that he was the half brother, but then it kind of made it sound like he was an illegitimate child and that he might actually not be the king. So I'm kind of confused on that part. So I'm not sure. Okay. So her mom tried to curse him, who was the prince at the time, and she was found out and beheaded. So now Llewellyn is all alone and she doesn't have any family. And because of her mom's crimes, she was considered an abandoned princess because her mom did something bad. Llewellyn is now in her early 20s. She wanted to leave and go join the church and become not a monk, but like a nun. She wanted to become like a nun and serve God at the monastery. But the king wouldn't allow her. So not her dad, but her stepbrother, who was the prince. He is now the emperor, and he refused to let her go. Now, I personally think he has like some sort of lustful feelings for her, because it's really hard to tell. Like, either he's a little brother who has like some big sister complex, or he legitimately has like feelings for her. I don't know. I'm like 25 chapters in, and it's kind of sus, to say the least. So he won't let her go. He has made the agreement that if she waits until she's 25 years old and she still wants to go, he will let her go. Okay. So in the meantime, she is still stuck in the palace, but she's not in the main palace. She's like in a separate wing of the palace, and it's a very solitude area. It's away. There's no guards there protecting her. She only has a couple maids. And the queen, which is the emperor's mom, is a biatch to her. It is bad. She takes every opportunity she can. She embarrasses her at parties, at balls, at freaking hunting or horse races. Like, it doesn't matter where. She will like verbally abuse her. She has like physically abused her. She is not a nice lady, but luckily her son, the king, he at least tells his mom, like, don't hurt Llewellyn, like, be nice to her. Like, he warns her. So at least he knows his mom is doing stuff and he's keeping an eye on it. So at least he's not like stupid and ignorant and naive like a lot of other people would betray him. He's actually quite clever and has a couple things up his sleeve. Now, Llewellyn has been cursed, and this curse causes her to want to have sex, and the only way to make it subside is by having sex, basically. So she has sex for the first time with an unknown man. She has no idea who it was, because when it is like when the curse is activated, when it reaches like the point of no return, she actually blacked out, and she only can remember like brown hair and a couple things that the guy said during the act. She can't remember the face name, like nothing about him. So I don't really want to give away, like, you'll figure it out within like the first 5 chapters of who it is, but I guess I won't give it away. That way when you read it, you can enjoy trying to figure out who it was, okay? Now, there is a couple different love interests in here as well. You have Tristan, who is the commander of the Red Knights. He is really well looked upon. He is very good looking and well established, and he's an all-around good dude, and he's a really good knight. You can tell he has feelings for the princess, but he has not done anything, like he doesn't act on his feelings, but he does like really sweet stuff for her, and he's very protective of her. He's like a really good dude. Now, Almond, and I'm calling him Almond because that's kind of like his nickname, and his other like real name is like Almondite or something. I don't know. It's strange. So Almond is a childhood friend of Llewellyn's and wants to marry her. Like he puts in for an engagement and everything and wants to marry her. And she's like, no, I hate you. And the reason she hates him is because he is actually somewhat, or his family is involved in the execution of her mother, and so she doesn't like him at all. There is also a priest whose name is Ernell, I think is how you say it, and yep, they end up having some good times too. And Ernell is not supposed to be doing anything with women, you know, because he is a priest or a pope or whatever, so they're not supposed to be caving into sins of the flesh, or however you want to phrase it, but he does. He's like a naughty priest, and it's great in a way, but isn't in another. But he realizes, because he has holy power or some magic in him, he does realize that she is cursed, and he actually wants to help her. So he does what he can to help subside like those lustful feelings from the curse, but also trying to actually find a cure so she doesn't have to deal with this her entire life. So he's off trying to find a cure, and she's at the castle doing her own thing. I think the story is really well done so far. I really like the artwork, minus, and I say minus just because like some of the drawings of like the horses, and I'm not a good artist, but some of the drawing of the horses are really wonky. That is like the only part I don't like is how wonky the horses look. And that's it. Everything else I really like about it. I think the artwork's really good. I love the fact that her dresses change every time. So she's not wearing like the same ball gown or like the same dress every single day. It's changed, so that's really cool. I like the storyline. I actually think it's interesting, and I really like the fact that this is a historical romance that actually has sex in it, because a lot of them don't have sex in it. And the one I read, I was trying to read one that had sex in it, but it was so, I don't know, I didn't like it, and I couldn't get into it. It was just, it just was weird. So this one so far is really good. Again, I'm only 25 chapters in, so I'm really looking forward to what is to come and what happens to the characters. I can't wait, but I thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, everyone.